The Executive Committee of National Economic Council, ECNEC, approves 8 projects involving an overall estimated cost of 14,041 crore 21 lakh taka. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman forms high-level committee to address existing problems facing country's textile industry. Heavy rainfall likely in next 2 days in Borishal and Chattogram divisions. Water levels of several rivers continue to rise. Bangladeshi nationalism, an inclusive philosophy that unites every individual in this land, says Information and Broadcasting Minister. National Board of Revenue (NBR) launches e-return service for individual taxpayers for 2026-27 tax year, aiming to make tax services easier, faster and more transparent. Retaliatory attacks between United States and Iran continue, centering Strait of Hormuz. Washington's war expenditure stands at $37.5 billion. And West Indies secure victory against New Zealand by 2 wickets in the final and last ODI of 5-match series. New Zealand win the series 3-2. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10. I'm Mahmoud Rahman. Those were the headlines. We'll move on now to details of those and other stories. The Executive Committee of the National Economic Council, ECNEC, has approved 8 development projects involving an overall expenditure cost of 14,041 crore and 21 lakh taka. The approval was given at ECNEC meeting held with ECNEC Chairperson Prime Minister Tariq Rahman at Cabinet Division Conference Room at the Secretariat today. Cabinet members, Planning Commission members and concerned high officials attended the meeting. Of the approved 8 projects, 3 projects are new while 5 are revised. Approved projects are Universal Social Infrastructure Development 2, first revised, Integrated Development Project for Dinajpur, Thakurgaon and Panchgod districts of Greater Dinajpur, Rural Road Maintenance and Employment Project Construction, Renovation and Improvement of Disaster Shelters, third revised, Dhaka Ashulia Elevated Expressway Construction, second revised, Power Distribution System Development Project for Sylhet Division, third revised, drilling 1 appraisal cum development well, Begumganj 5, and 2 exploratory wells, Begumganj 6 and Shunetra 2, and upgrading existing kidney dialysis centers at medical college hospitals to 50-bed facilities and establishing 10-bed kidney dialysis centers at district hospitals, second revised project. After ECNEC meeting, State Minister for Planning, Mohammad Junaid Abdul Rahim Saki, briefed journalists at conference room of Press Information Department. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman has assured the country's garment exporters of the country's full support for the growth of the sector and directed the authorities concerned to remove major bottlenecks as quickly as possible. The Prime Minister gave the assurance during a meeting with a delegation of the Bangladesh Garment Manufacturers and Exporters Association, BGMEA, at the Prime Minister's office in the Cabinet Division of the Secretariat today. The delegation was led by BGMEA President Mahmood Hassan Khan. The BGMEA leaders briefed the Prime Minister on the challenges facing the ready-made garment industry, including the need for uninterrupted gas and electricity supply. They also placed a number of short and long-term proposals aimed at strengthening the sector. Tariq Rahman listened to the business leaders and instructed the relevant ministries and agencies to take prompt steps to resolve the issues that can be addressed immediately. The Prime Minister said the government is committed to the sustainable development of the garment industry, describing it as one of the main drivers of the country's economy. Infrastructure development for the garment sector is already underway. Once these improvements are completed, they will further strengthen the economy and help Bangladesh move forward. The government is working sincerely for the sector's sustainable growth, he said. Tariq Rahman also said the government had unveiled a business-friendly budget to encourage trade and investment. After the meeting, the BGME delegation presented a commemorative crest to the Prime Minister. Commerce, Industries and Textiles and Jute Minister Khondokar Abdul Muqtadir Prime Minister's advisor on finance and planning, Rashid Al Mahmood Titumir, advisor on labour and employment, Mahdi Amin, BNP Special Secretary, Belayat Hussain, and other BGMEA leaders attended the meeting. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman said the government is working to build a transparent, accountable and investment-friendly environment for a planned, sustainable and corruption-free housing sector in the country. He said the housing industry is one of the key drivers of the national economy. Its development is crucial to the country's overall economic growth. The Prime Minister made the remarks during a courtesy meeting with a delegation of the Real Estate and Housing Association of Bangladesh, REHAB, at the Cabinet Division of the Bangladesh Secretariat today. He said the government has already undertaken a series of reform initiatives to prevent irregularities in the housing sector and is taking further effective measures to strengthen governance in the industry. The Premier also stressed that urbanization should not remain Dhaka-centric, saying urbanization should not remain confined to Dhaka alone. Other regions of the country must also be developed in a planned manner with equal importance. He also underscored the need to protect agricultural land while implementing development activities. During the meeting, the REHAB delegation discussed the current state of the housing industry, challenges to planned urbanization, practical issues arising from the implementation of the Detailed Area Plan (DAP) and proposals for the sector's long-term development. The delegation urged the government to rationalize registration fees for land, plots and apartments, fully digitalize government services related to the housing sector, rationally increase the floor area ratio (FAR) and promote vertical urbanization to ensure optimum use of limited land in the capital. Housing and Public Works Minister Zakaria Taher Shumon, REHAB President Dr. Ali Afzal, Vice President Abu Khalid Muhammad Barkatullah, among others, were present at the meeting. The outgoing Chief of Bangladesh Navy, Admiral M. Najmul Hasan, paid a farewell call on Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. The meeting was held at the Prime Minister's office at Bangladesh Secretariat this afternoon. During the meeting, they discussed issues related to safeguarding the country's sovereignty, maritime security, modernization of the Bangladesh Navy, and other matters of national interest. The Prime Minister appreciated Admiral Najmul Hasan's achievements during his tenure, commending his visionary leadership and contribution to the modernization of the Bangladesh Navy, enhancement of its operational capabilities, and efforts to further strengthen it as a professional force. Admiral Najmul Hasan expressed his gratitude to the Prime Minister for his overall cooperation, guidance, and sincere support throughout his tenure. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman has formed a high-level committee to review and resolve the existing problems facing the country's textile industry. The committee was formed following a meeting of the leaders of Bangladesh Textile Mills Association, BTMA, with Prime Minister Tariq Rahman at the Prime Minister's office at Bangladesh Secretariat today. During the meeting, the BTMA leaders discussed the current state of the country's textile industry, its export potential, and the challenges confronting the sector. Highlighting the textile industry's significant contribution to the national economy, they sought the government's continued support for the sector's sustainable development and urged policy support to enhance its competitiveness in the global market. The Prime Minister lauded the textile industry's contribution to industrialization, employment generation and export earnings and assured the BMTA leaders of the government's cooperation for the sector's further development. BTMA President Shaukat Aziz Rasul, Vice President Shamim Islam, former President Aimatin Chaudhry, among others, attended the meeting. The latest update from the Flood Forecasting and Warning Centre, FFWC, says that continuous heavy rainfall across the country is causing water levels in several rivers to rise rapidly. As a result, fresh flooding may occur within the next 24 to 48 hours. According to the FFWC, 7 districts in northern and northeastern Bangladesh are at risk of flash flooding. The vulnerable districts include Lalmonirhat, Nilphamari, Rangpur, Gaibandha and Kurigram in Rangpur division. The centre said that although water levels in the Tista, Dhorla and Dudhkumar rivers have remained stable over the past 24 hours, they are expected to rise over the next 3 days. The Teesta River has again risen and is now flowing 5 centimeters below the danger level at the Dalia point in Nilphamari. To ease the pressure of the rising water, all 44 gates of the Teesta barrage have been opened. Meanwhile, flood alerts have also been issued for the northeastern districts of Sylhet and Sunamganj. Over the past 24 hours, the water level of the Surma River has increased, while the Kushiara River has remained stable. However, both rivers are expected to rise over the next 3 days. The FFWC said that flood conditions in areas already affected are likely to remain stable. However, the forecast also warns that water levels in several rivers in the affected districts may exceed the danger level, increasing the risk of inundation in low-lying riverside areas. Seasonal rain is continuing across the country. According to the Flood Forecasting and Warning Centre, low-lying areas could be flooded in the next 24 to 48 hours. Water levels in the Shangu and Matamuhuri rivers are close to the danger level in parts of Bandurban, Cox's Bazar and Chattogram. Meteorologist Hafizur Rahman said this is usually the time of year when Bangladesh receives the most rainfall. He said there is no reason to panic. People should follow the latest weather forecasts and take necessary precautions. Due to rough weather, the Meteorological Department advised river ports in the southern region and the Chattogram coast to keep local cautionary signal number 1 in place. Flood Forecasting and Warning Centre Executive Engineer Sardar Uday Raihan said the situation is not expected to become serious. He said there is no risk of a major flood or extremely heavy rainfall at this time. However, people in vulnerable low-lying areas have been urged to stay alert and follow official advice. The High Court has issued a rule asking why a minimum educational qualification of a bachelor's degree should not be made mandatory for candidates contesting elections for the post of Union Parishad Chairman. A High Court bench comprising Justice Ahmed Sohel and Justice Fatima Anwar issued the rule on Wednesday after a preliminary hearing on a writ petition filed by 2 Supreme Court lawyers. The court also sought to know why Section 26 of the Local Government Union Parishads Act 2009, which does not prescribe any educational qualification for the post of chairman, should not be declared inconsistent with the Constitution. The High Court directed the Secretaries of the Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives and the Ministry of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, along with the Chief Election Commissioner, to respond to the rule within the next 4 weeks. LGRD and Cooperatives Minister Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has said the country and democracy will be strong if local government remains strong. He said this at a discussion titled "What Grassroots Representatives Should Do to Build a New Bangladesh by Strengthening Local Government" at Diploma Engineers Institute in the capital today. The LGRD minister said that Awami League and democracy do not go together. Awami League has destroyed democracy, he added. The minister informed that the government has arranged free, fair and neutral Union Parishad election to lay the foundation of democracy. At this time, he also assured to discuss with the Prime Minister about the issue of increasing allowances for the UP chairman. State Minister for Disaster Management and Relief M. Iqbal Hussain also spoke at the event. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zohiruddin Shapon has said that all countries are Bangladesh's friends as long as they respect the country's national interests, adding that Bangladesh has no other alignment or interest beyond safeguarding its own national interest. He made the remarks today while addressing a seminar as the chief guest organized by Jagannath University UTAB to mark the 45th martyrdom anniversary of former President Ziaur Rahman. The seminar was titled Shaheed President Ziaur Rahman and Bangladeshi Nationalism. The minister said that embracing the ideals of Bangladeshi nationalism is essential to ensuring the country's territorial integrity, adding that the current government is working towards that objective. He further described Bangladeshi nationalism as an inclusive philosophy that unites all people living in the country, regardless of their backgrounds. Among those present at the seminar were Jagannath University Vice-Chancellor Dr. Mohammad Raisuddin, Member of Parliament for Dhaka 7 Hamidur Rahman, as well as university teachers, students and officials. Bangladesh's Foreign Minister Dr. Khalilur Rahman met Chinese, Russian and the US counterparts on the sideline of ASEAN Regional Forum Foreign Ministers meeting today in the Philippines capital, Manila. The advisor to the Prime Minister for Foreign Affairs, Humayun Kabir, is accompanying the Foreign Minister. These meetings covered a broad spectrum of bilateral relations, including trade, investment, energy and connectivity, as well as regional and international issues. During these meetings, the Bangladesh side underlined that Bangladesh First policy will guide Bangladesh's external relations. At the bilateral meeting with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, both sides stressed on advancing comprehensive cooperative partnership to jointly build a China-Bangladesh community for a shared future. The two foreign ministers discussed further cooperation to repatriate forcibly displaced Myanmar nationals, multimodal transport corridor, trade and investment, and energy cooperation. During Bangladesh-Russia bilateral meeting, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov congratulated the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh on his election as the President of the 81st UN General Assembly. Both sides agreed to enhance cooperation in the energy sector. Later in the afternoon, the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio received Bangladesh Foreign Minister and discussed further strengthening US-Bangladesh ties. Foreign Minister Rahman invited Secretary Rubio to visit Bangladesh. The Bangladesh Foreign Minister is leading the Bangladesh delegation to the 33rd ASEAN Regional Forum Foreign Ministers meeting and the 50th anniversary of Treaty of Amity and Cooperation of Southeast Asia. Judges of the International Crimes Tribunal have decided to visit the secret prison or Ainakor of DGFI and RAB. The tribunal gave the consent following application by Chief Prosecutor Muhammad Aminul Islam. The date and time for the visit have not yet been set. But today, the tribunal accepted a verbal request asking that lawyers for the interested defendants, along with the prosecution, be present during the inspection. Earlier, the Chief Prosecutor mentioned that according to conventional law and the rules of the International Criminal Tribunal, judges can visit the crime scene if needed. During the fallen Awami League government, many incidents of enforced disappearances occurred in Bangladesh, and the victims were held captive in the places known as JIC, TFI or Ainakor. The defendant's lawyer said that according to the law, judges can make such a decision to verify the authenticity of witnesses' testimonies. This will ensure fair judgment for both sides. The next testimony recording of the 4 accused, including former Parliament member Abul Hassan Abdullah, in the incident of killing of 2, including Chhatrodol leaders, in crossfire in Borishal during the fallen Awami League tenure, has been suspended till tomorrow. In Tribunal 2 today, after statements and cross-examination, the court set this date. In the case, Police Constable Mainul Islam gave testimony today. Earlier, the prosecution lodged another new case in the incident of killing of 17 individuals at Jatrawari during mass uprising on July 18th and 20th. The 4 accused in this case include former OC Abul Hassan. The next hearing of the case will take place on August the 8th. The National Board of Revenue, NBR, has launched an online income tax return filing system for individual taxpayers for the 2026-27 tax year, aiming to make tax services easier, faster and more transparent. Through the NBR's designated website, taxpayers can now pay their taxes from home using bank transfers, debit cards, credit cards, bKash, Rocket, Nogod or other mobile financial services. After submitting their returns online, they will be able to instantly download an acknowledgement receipt and income tax certificate. The NBR said that taxpayers who encounter any difficulties while filing their returns online can seek assistance from its officials through the call centre and other electronic channels during office hours on working days, excluding government holidays. Beginning with the 2026-27 tax year, individual taxpayers who submit their income tax returns between July and September will be eligible for an incentive of 5% of their net tax payable up to a maximum of 25,000 taka. The NBR also said that this incentive will not be available for returns filed after September. Moreover, returns submitted after December will be subject to additional tax in accordance with the applicable tax regulations. We move on now to international news.